Niggas sold him the streets. He threw rocks at the penitentiary. And his reward was a 40-year sentence. All the big homies, they lied to him. Because they seen the younger version of Pistol Pete in him. So they gassed him. They praised him. And I guarantee you, I'm willing to bet my life on it. Most of them niggas ain't even sat down on the visiting floor or even wrote that little nigga a letter.
The courtroom fell silent as the reality finally hit. Kay Flock is facing up to 30 years in federal prison, and the emotional weight of that moment was impossible to ignore. Known for his raw energy, street anthems, and rapid rise in drill music, Kay Flock has always projected toughness and confidence. But behind the headlines and the hard image, a young man was forced to confront a future that suddenly looks nothing like the one he imagined. Reports say the moment the potential sentence was laid out, the emotional impact was overwhelming, marking a stark turning point in a story that once seemed destined for stardom. For fans who watched his career explode almost overnight, this development feels surreal. Just a short time ago, Kay Flock was being talked about as one of the most promising voices in New York's drill scene, pulling millions of views and commanding attention with every release. Now, those same fans are grappling with the possibility that his freedom and his career could be taken away for decades. The contrast between viral success and the harsh reality of the federal system has sparked intense conversations online about choices, consequences, and how quickly life can change. Social media erupted as news spread. Clips, hash reactions, and commentary flooded timelines, with supporters expressing shock, heartbreak, and disbelief. Some fans hold on to hope, urging others not to rush to judgment, while critics point to the seriousness of federal cases and the weight they carry. Legal experts have weighed in, explaining that federal charges are often built over time and come with severe penalties, making the situation far more dangerous than many initially realized. What makes this moment especially powerful is its human side. Beyond the rapper persona, there is a young individual facing the possibility of spending much of his life behind bars. The emotional response reflects the gravity of that realization, that fame, money, and recognition cannot shield anyone from the full force of the legal system. As the case continues to unfold, one question dominates the conversation. Is this the tragic end of a rising star, or the beginning of a long, painful chapter that could redefine his legacy forever? What happens next will not only shape Kay Flock's future, but also serve as a sobering reminder of how fast success can collide with reality. The moment Kay Flock learned he could be facing up to 30 years in federal prison, the weight of reality hit harder than anything he had experienced before. For an artist whose rise from the Bronx drill scene was fast, raw, and explosive, the possibility of spending decades behind bars marked a sudden and devastating pause to a life once fueled by ambition, momentum, and street credibility. Reports describe the atmosphere as heavy and tense, with those present sensing that this was not just another court appearance, but a turning point that could define the rest of his life. According to sources familiar with the situation, the severity of the potential sentence became clear during legal proceedings when federal charges and sentencing guidelines were laid out in detail. What once may have felt distant or abstract suddenly became concrete. 30 years is not just a number. It represents lost youth, missed milestones, and an entire career potentially erased before it truly began. Witnesses say Kay Flock appeared visibly shaken as the reality of federal time set in, a stark contrast to the tough, unbothered image often projected in music and public appearances. Kay Flock's rise had been rapid. Emerging from New York's drill movement, he quickly gained attention for his aggressive delivery, raw storytelling, and authenticity that resonated deeply with fans who saw their own struggles reflected in his lyrics. His music spoke to life in the streets, the constant tension, and the choices that come with survival in harsh environments. For many supporters, his success symbolized hope, proof that talent could provide a way out. That is why this moment feels especially painful, not just for him, but for the fans who watched his ascent and believed his story was still being written. The emotional breakdown reportedly came when the long-term consequences were explained in full. Federal cases differ significantly from state-level charges, often carrying harsher penalties and limited flexibility. Legal experts emphasize that federal sentencing guidelines are strict, leaving little room for leniency once convictions are secured. Hearing those realities laid out can be overwhelming, particularly for someone still so young. Observers note that this was the moment K. Flock appeared to fully grasp what was at stake, not just his freedom, but his future identity, purpose, and connection to the world outside prison walls. Those close to him describe a shift in demeanor following the news. The bravado that once defined his public persona gave way to visible distress, silence, and moments of emotional vulnerability. It is a reminder that behind the image of fame and toughness is a human being confronting fear, regret, and uncertainty. This reaction has sparked broader conversations online about the mental toll of facing long-term incarceration, especially for young artists who rise quickly but may not fully escape the environments that shape them. Fans reacted almost immediately, flooding social media with messages of shock, sadness, and support. Many expressed disbelief that someone with so much potential could be staring down decades in prison. Others reflected on the broader issues at play, pointing to systemic cycles of violence, limited opportunities, and a difficult transition from street life to mainstream success. The discussion quickly moved beyond K. Flock as an individual, touching on the pressures faced by artists who gain fame while still deeply connected to dangerous surroundings. At the same time, critics argue that accountability cannot be ignored, emphasizing that serious charges carry serious consequences regardless of talent or popularity. This divide has fueled intense debate, highlighting the uncomfortable intersection between empathy and responsibility. Legal analysts stress that emotions, while understandable, do not influence federal sentencing outcomes, which are driven by evidence, statutes, and strict guidelines rather than public opinion or artistic promise. As K. Flock's case continues, this moment stands as one of the most sobering chapters of his story so far. The breakdown is not just about fear of prison time. It represents the collapse of a future once imagined differently. Dreams of tours, albums, and growth are now overshadowed by court dates, legal strategy, and the possibility of spending the prime years of his life behind bars. This development forces fans, artists, and observers alike to confront a harsh reality. Success does not automatically sever ties to past choices or environments. For K. Flock, learning he could face 30 years in federal prison marks the point where the consequences of those choices became undeniable, transforming his story from one of rapid rise to one of uncertainty, reflection, and irreversible stakes. As the reality of a potential 30-year federal sentence began to sink in, the emotional weight on K. Flock reportedly intensified. Those close to the situation describe a moment where the courtroom atmosphere shifted from procedural to deeply personal. What once felt like a distant legal battle suddenly became a life-altering confrontation with time, consequences, and uncertainty. The idea of losing decades, not years, but a significant portion of an entire lifetime, forced a reckoning that no amount of fame, success, or street reputation could soften. For someone who rose quickly from the Bronx drill scene to national recognition, the contrast between past momentum and present confinement was impossible to ignore. Legal experts have explained that federal cases carry a different gravity than state charges. Sentencing guidelines are stricter, plea negotiations are complex, and outcomes are often less flexible. For K. Flock, this meant confronting the possibility that the system would not treat him as an artist, but strictly as a defendant. The courtroom environment, stripped of music, spotlight, and fans, exposed a stark truth. Fame offers no shield once federal prosecutors are involved. This realization reportedly hit hard, as the case moved from speculation to a structured legal path with real numbers, timelines, and irreversible implications. Emotionally, the toll has been described as overwhelming. Individuals familiar with K. Flock's mindset suggest that the weight of regret, fear, and reflection has grown heavier with each court appearance. The thought of missing key moments, family milestones, career opportunities, personal growth, reportedly became a source of deep distress. Unlike social media controversies that fade with time, A federal sentence represents permanence. That permanence can be crushing, especially for someone still so young, whose life until now had been defined by speed, ambition, and rapid change. Inside the case, every detail matters. Lawyers scrutinize evidence, witness statements, timelines, and procedural decisions, knowing that even small factors can influence outcomes. For K. Flock, this has reportedly meant long hours of consultation, revisiting moments from the past that now carry enormous weight. The emotional strain of reliving these events, combined with the pressure of public scrutiny, has only added to the burden. Sources suggest that the emotional breakdown stemmed not from a single moment, but from the cumulative realization that the path ahead would be long, uncertain, and unforgiving. The psychological impact of facing such a sentence is profound. Mental health experts note that when individuals confront the possibility of decades behind bars, the mind often cycles through denial, anger, sadness, and fear. For someone accustomed to expressing emotion through music, being confined to legal language and court procedures can feel suffocating. K. Flock's reported breakdown reflects a human response to an extraordinary level of pressure, one where identity, future, and freedom are all called into question at once. Outside the courtroom, fans and observers have reacted strongly. Social media has been flooded with discussions about justice, accountability, and the consequences of street life intersecting with fame. Some supporters express sympathy, emphasizing his youth and talent, while others stress the seriousness of federal cases and the importance of responsibility. This divided reaction mirrors a larger cultural debate about how society views young artists who rise from difficult environments and then face severe legal consequences. The emotional response to K. Flock's situation has become part of a broader conversation about opportunity, choices, and systemic realities. Family presence has reportedly played a critical role during this phase. Loved ones attending court appearances serve as both emotional anchors and painful reminders of what is at stake. Seeing family members react to the possibility of decades-long separation can intensify emotional responses, making the legal process feel even more personal. For K. Flock, this human element may have been one of the most difficult aspects, realizing that the consequences extend far beyond himself, affecting everyone connected to him. As the case progresses, the emotional breakdown stands as a moment of raw vulnerability. It stripped away the public image and revealed the reality beneath, a young man facing a future defined by court rulings rather than career milestones. Regardless of the final outcome, this phase marks a turning point. It is no longer about rumors, speculation, or headlines, but about confronting the full weight of potential consequences. In the next phase of the story, attention shifts toward how this case could impact his legacy, the drill music scene, and the wider conversation about accountability in youth culture, a ripple effect that extends far beyond one courtroom. As news of K. Flock facing up to 30 years in federal prison spread, the rapper's emotional state reportedly reached a breaking point. Sources close to him describe scenes of intense stress, tears, and moments of complete vulnerability. Known for projecting confidence and street toughness in his music and public appearances, this was a side of K. Flock rarely seen by fans. His reaction underscores the magnitude of the situation. Facing decades behind bars is not only a legal crisis but a deeply personal one, affecting his mental health, family, and professional trajectory. Friends and collaborators have spoken of his struggle to process the enormity of the charges, noting that even brief conversations often turn into emotional breakdowns, reflecting the weight of the potential sentence looming over him. Peers in the industry have also expressed concern. Fellow artists and collaborators have taken to social media to voice support, sending messages of encouragement while urging fans to remain patient as the legal process unfolds. Some have pointed out that even seasoned veterans in the music business are vulnerable to the psychological toll of facing long-term incarceration. While many fans focus on his music and persona, insiders understand that the pressures of the legal system can crack even the strongest exterior. K. Flock's breakdown is a humanizing moment, showing that the consequences of criminal charges extend far beyond headlines and into the very core of a person's mental and emotional well-being. The legal pressure has been mounting steadily. Federal prosecutors are reportedly building a case with multiple charges, which, if convicted, could lead to decades in prison. Each charge adds complexity to the defense strategy, requiring intense preparation and detailed coordination with legal counsel. Sources note that K. Flock has been under constant stress during meetings with attorneys, reviewing evidence, and preparing statements. The emotional strain of understanding the potential repercussions is compounded by the public nature of the case, with every move scrutinized by fans, media outlets, and the wider hip-hop community. Legal analysts explain that facing multiple federal charges simultaneously can be mentally exhausting, even for experienced defendants, making emotional breakdowns unsurprising in such high-stakes scenarios. Family support has played a crucial role during this turbulent period. Close relatives have been present during attorney consultations and personal moments, offering reassurance and comfort. Yet, even their support cannot fully shield him from the emotional toll of possibly spending decades behind bars. The rapper's parents and siblings reportedly struggle alongside him, knowing that any sentence will affect not just K. Flock, but the entire family network emotionally, financially, and socially. Sources emphasize that legal battles of this magnitude are rarely fought in isolation, and the ripple effects of a potential conviction can touch every aspect of an individual's personal life. Fans' reactions have been intense and multifaceted. On social media, discussions oscillate between outrage, sympathy, and disbelief. Some express sorrow over the potential loss of his talent to the prison system, while others debate the justice system's fairness, highlighting disparities that exist in federal sentencing. Analysts observe that public sentiment, while emotionally charged, can often influence broader cultural perceptions, shaping how artists like K. Flock are remembered regardless of legal outcomes. Memes, reaction videos, and commentary threads continue to circulate, reflecting both concern for his well-being and fascination with the high-profile nature of the case. Insiders close to the situation describe moments when K. Flock contemplates the broader consequences of his legal troubles. Beyond the potential prison sentence, there's fear about his career, music royalties, and ability to maintain relationships within the industry. Artists in similar circumstances have seen careers stall or dissolve entirely while serving extended time, and K. Flock is reportedly aware of this reality. His breakdown is therefore not only about the immediate fear of incarceration, but also the potential loss of creative control, personal freedom, and long-term opportunities. Mental health professionals emphasize that prolonged exposure to extreme legal stress can trigger anxiety, depression, and emotional breakdowns. K. Flock's case illustrates how public figures are not immune to these pressures. The combination of high stakes, public scrutiny, and personal vulnerability creates a perfect storm, magnifying emotional responses. Support systems, therapy, and strategic coping mechanisms are essential to navigating these circumstances, and insiders report that he has been encouraged to seek professional guidance to manage the psychological strain. In summary, K. Flock's emotional breakdown is a stark reminder of the human side of high-profile legal battles. Beyond headlines and viral clips, the stress of facing 30 years in federal prison has exposed raw vulnerability, illustrating that even the most resilient public figures can succumb to fear, anxiety, and despair. The reactions from peers, family, and fans underscore the profound emotional impact of such cases, while the pressures of legal preparation, public scrutiny, and career uncertainty continue to weigh heavily on the rapper. As the investigation and court proceedings move forward, all eyes remain on K. Flock, not only to see how he navigates his legal challenges, but also how he copes with the emotional toll that comes with the possibility of decades behind bars. As K. Flock's legal battle progresses, the courtroom has become the center of intense scrutiny, both from the public and the media. While federal proceedings often move slowly, each hearing has significant implications for his potential sentence. Sources indicate that attorneys are meticulously reviewing evidence, cross-examining witnesses, and strategizing defenses for each charge. The courtroom environment itself is reported to be tense, with the weight of decades-long imprisonment looming over every session. Legal analysts note that federal cases involving multiple charges often require complex legal maneuvering, and even minor procedural missteps can have serious consequences. For K. Flock, the stakes could not be higher, as each session adds pressure, not only legally but emotionally and psychologically. Public reactions have continued to surge, with fans and critics alike dissecting courtroom reports and updates. Social media platforms are flooded with discussions about the potential outcomes, speculation about plea deals, and debates over the fairness of federal sentencing. Supporters often emphasize his talent, potential, and contributions to hip-hop, expressing hope that the legal system will provide a fair resolution. Critics, meanwhile, argue that the seriousness of the charges demands accountability, underscoring that fame and influence do not exempt anyone from legal consequences. This public scrutiny amplifies the pressure on K. Flock and his legal team, illustrating how high-profile cases extend far beyond the courtroom. Experts in criminal law have analyzed the potential outcomes in detail. With charges carrying a maximum sentence of 30 years, prosecutors have significant leverage in negotiation strategies, including plea bargains that could reduce sentencing in exchange for cooperation or admission of guilt. However, legal analysts caution that federal judges have discretion, and even well-negotiated agreements may not prevent substantial prison time. The complexity of evidence, including witness testimony, forensic reports, and digital communications, will heavily influence any decisions made by both the defense and prosecution. The emotional strain of understanding these legal intricacies, combined with the fear of long-term incarceration, contributes to the psychological pressure that K. Flock reportedly experiences. Courtroom developments also highlight the broader cultural and industry implications. Artists, collaborators, and industry insiders watch closely, understanding that the outcome could set precedents for handling legal issues among high-profile musicians. The case sparks ongoing debate about accountability in the music industry, the role of street affiliations, and the consequences of actions that intersect with criminal law. For younger artists and fans, the proceedings serve as a cautionary tale about the intersection of lifestyle choices, personal behavior, and long-term consequences. Analysts point out that while K. Flock's talent is undeniable, his current predicament underscores how external factors and personal decisions can dramatically influence career trajectories. Family and close associates continue to play a central role in navigating this turbulent period. They are reportedly present at court appearances, providing emotional support and helping to manage communication with legal counsel. The stress of high-stakes hearings extends beyond K. Flock himself, affecting everyone in his immediate circle. Sources note that family members often experience anxiety, sleep disruption, and emotional fatigue as they witness the unfolding legal drama. This collective stress highlights the far-reaching impact of legal battles on personal networks, emphasizing that the consequences of criminal charges are rarely confined to the individual defendant. Social media remains a powerful amplifier of public sentiment. Videos, courtroom sketches, and commentary clips circulate widely, often shaping perceptions before official outcomes are announced. Fans dissect courtroom behavior, speculate on legal strategies, and analyze every detail reported in the media. Viral discussions both support and critique K. Flock, reflecting the polarized nature of public opinion. Analysts note that this digital amplification can influence broader cultural narratives, affecting how artists are perceived long after the legal proceedings conclude. In many ways, the social media landscape serves as a parallel courtroom, where public judgment unfolds alongside formal legal processes. The potential outcomes of the case are stark. If convicted on multiple federal charges, K. Flock faces decades of incarceration, which could dramatically alter his career and personal life. Conversely, successful defense strategies, plea negotiations, or evidentiary challenges may mitigate sentencing, offering a chance at continued creative work and personal freedom. Legal experts caution that even partial reductions in sentencing may not erase the long-term consequences of a high-profile federal case, including restrictions on movement, reputational damage, and potential difficulties with future collaborations. In addition to legal considerations, the case sparks broader discussions about rehabilitation, justice, and accountability. Experts emphasize that the intersection of youth, fame, and criminal activity presents complex challenges, highlighting the need for both legal consequences and support systems that address underlying factors contributing to risky behavior. For fans and peers, this case illustrates the delicate balance between enjoying artistic talent and recognizing the very real human costs of criminal allegations. Ultimately, K-Flock's courtroom journey is a defining moment in his life, combining legal complexity, public scrutiny, and personal vulnerability. The proceedings highlight the pressures faced by high-profile individuals navigating federal charges, the cultural implications for the music industry, and the emotional toll on families and support networks. As hearings continue, all eyes remain on K-Flock, with both legal experts and fans watching closely to see how the case unfolds and what the consequences may be for his career, personal life, and broader cultural influence. As the legal proceedings surrounding K-Flock advance, attention has increasingly turned to the potential sentencing outcomes and their broader implications. Facing federal charges with a maximum sentence of 30 years, the rapper is confronting one of the most critical moments of his life. Legal analysts emphasize that federal sentencing is complex, with judges considering factors such as prior criminal history, the severity of the alleged offense, cooperation with authorities, and the quality of legal representation. Even in cases where plea deals are negotiated, sentences can remain substantial, reflecting both the seriousness of the allegations and the federal system's emphasis on accountability. For K-Flock, understanding the nuances of potential sentencing has become a central focus for both his defense team and his family, as every decision may carry long-term consequences. Experts predict that the final sentence will depend heavily on the strength of the evidence, including witness testimony, forensic documentation, and any recorded communications. Federal prosecutors are known for leveraging comprehensive investigations to maximize their case, and any corroborating evidence of intent or planning could dramatically influence outcomes. Conversely, defense attorneys may focus on challenging the credibility of witnesses, highlighting procedural inconsistencies, and advocating for mitigating circumstances to reduce potential sentencing. Analysts note that while the process is often painstaking and slow, the stakes for K-Flock could not be higher. A conviction could alter his life permanently, while even a reduced sentence could disrupt his career trajectory and personal freedom. Beyond the courtroom, the potential consequences of sentencing have profound cultural and career implications. K-Flock has established himself as a rising force in the music scene, with a growing fan base and increasing visibility within the industry. A lengthy prison sentence would pause his momentum, affecting everything from album releases to touring opportunities, and could influence his relationships with collaborators and industry professionals. Experts suggest that even after serving time, re-establishing a career in a competitive industry is challenging, especially when public perception has been impacted by high-profile legal issues. The combination of lost time, reputational scrutiny, and potential restrictions on professional activity could significantly reshape his artistic trajectory. Public perception remains a critical component of the story. Fans have been closely monitoring developments, creating a mix of emotional support, speculation, and debate across social media platforms. Some continue to champion his talent and express sympathy for his plight, emphasizing the pressures that come with fame and the difficulties of navigating personal and professional responsibilities. Others insist on accountability, highlighting the seriousness of the charges and the need for consequences in order to uphold justice. This polarized public sentiment reflects broader cultural conversations about crime, punishment, and celebrity, and illustrates how public opinion can influence the narrative even before a legal resolution is reached. Industry insiders also weigh in on the long-term impact of the case. Collaborators, promoters, and executives are reportedly re-evaluating ongoing projects and future partnerships, mindful of reputational risks associated with controversy. Even in instances when artists' legal challenges are resolved favorably, the shadow of high-profile allegations can linger, affecting opportunities and professional relationships. Analysts stress that maintaining credibility and trust is critical in the entertainment industry, and any disruption, particularly one as severe as federal charges, requires careful management to mitigate potential fallout. The emotional and psychological toll of potential sentencing cannot be overstated. Facing the possibility of decades in federal prison places immense pressure on both K. Flock and his family. Support networks are essential, as coping with stress, uncertainty, and public scrutiny requires resilience and guidance. Mental health professionals emphasize that prolonged exposure to such high-stakes circumstances can trigger anxiety, depression, and emotional distress, which in turn can affect decision-making and personal well-being. Reports indicate that family and close friends have been providing continuous support, recognizing that the emotional dimension of the case is as critical as the legal one. Culturally, the case sparks ongoing discussions about accountability, fame, and responsibility within the music industry. Experts note that young artists often navigate complex environments where personal decisions, public expectations, and street affiliations intersect. K. Flock's situation serves as a cautionary tale, illustrating the real consequences of alleged criminal behavior and highlighting the challenges of balancing artistic ambition with personal accountability. These conversations extend beyond fans and peers, influencing broader debates about justice, rehabilitation, and the pressures that high-profile individuals face in environments where both opportunity and risk are amplified. Ultimately, the final outcome of K. Flock's legal battle will determine more than just his immediate freedom. It will shape his career, public image, and personal life for years to come. Whether facing a lengthy sentence, a reduced plea, or another resolution, the consequences will resonate across multiple dimensions. The case demonstrates the intersection of law, culture, and celebrity, emphasizing that the decisions made today carry long-term implications for reputation, influence, and opportunity. For fans, peers, and observers, K. Flock's journey is a stark reminder of how swiftly circumstances can change when legal challenges collide with fame, and how resilience, preparation, and support are essential in navigating the most critical moments of life. The story of K. Flock facing up to 30 years in federal prison has captured the attention of fans, the music industry, and the public alike. This is not just a legal battle. It's a life-altering moment that affects his career, family, and future. Every development, courtroom update, and behind-the-scenes detail is being watched closely, and the stakes could not be higher. You cannot afford to miss the latest updates as the investigation unfolds, uncovering emotional reactions, legal strategies, and potential outcomes. Stay informed on every new twist, insight, and expert analysis to understand how this high-profile case is shaping the music world and its culture. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you're first to catch every update, commentary, and breakdown. Share your thoughts in the comments. What do you think the outcome will be, and how will this impact K. Flock's career? The story is far from over, and every moment counts.